Hey, what's up guys? John here. Elon Musk just issued a cryptic warning about the housing market. And if we all remember what his initial warning was on January 4th, he said that he has a gloomy financial prediction. Tesla and SpaceX CEO Elon Musk has a not so optimistic forecast for the economy for the year 2022. The tech billionaire recently predicted an onset of global recession in a tweet. As per Musk, the world is going to see a lot of economic and financial crisis this year. He, however, did not add any other details to the comment, no reason of how he came to this conclusion. He responded in a tweet in which he was asked, when do you think the next recession will be? To which Elon said, predicting macroeconomics is challenging to say the least. My gut feel is maybe around the spring or summer of 2022, but not later than 2023. Now, we made that January 4th, which just happened to be the highest day in the stock market history. Then ever since that tweet, everything has been coming downhill gradually. And he predicts it to continue to get worse. Yesterday, or on May 13th, he tweeted back to the Dogecoin cryptocurrency page. Cryptocurrency was created as a statement. This was a Dogecoin tweet. Crypto was created as a statement against central bank control right after the 2006 housing recession caused by predatory lending practices and other irresponsible nonsense lending to the housing market bubble bursting, rampant printing of money, bailouts, etc. Then Elon said the axiomatic error was that the housing prices only go up, which is very reminiscent of today, where everyone thinks that, due to inflation, that, housing is going to be something that's just going to continue skyrocketing. It's never going to change. I don't support predatory lending, but many of those lenders were severely wounded or didn't survive. They dug their own graves, a lesson we should all take to heart, including me. Then, this article from Business Insider came out. May 14th, meet the last resort mortgage lenders rising from the ashes of the financial crisis to help underqualified borrowers buy a home. So the same lending practices that were happening in the last mortgage crisis, the housing crisis, is happening again. And it's happening at a pretty big scale. And some of these players are the same players from back then. So this goes on to say the number of Americans who have trouble landing mortgages is on the rise, and a group of niche lenders are cashing in to help. Sprout Mortgage, Angel Oak, Carrington, and Athos Capital Group are four of the lenders who promise to help borrowers without a W-2. They offer competitive pricing and say they will help those who are on the road to repairing their credit. Their specialty caters to investors and everyday borrowers who couldn't qualify for tight underwriting standards that followed the 2008 housing burst, as well as to the self-employed. Following the subprime mortgage crisis, they've been embraced by some but haven't played a major role in the U.S. housing finance. Now, with the rest of the mortgage industry shrinking, these lenders are doing better than ever by catering to borrowers who are outcast of the market because of low credit scores, heavy debt, or their status of non-salaried workers. So they're helping these people get mortgages. These lenders' loans differ from the conventional mortgages as they aren't guaranteed by U.S. government or the financial agencies Fannie or Freddie, which have stricter underwriting guidelines, and they don't meet the definition of a gold standard qualified mortgage set by the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. The pool of borrowers of these non-QM loans may be large, with about 8% of mortgage applications denied each year, according to the mortgage publisher HSH. In another study, the personal finance company NerdWallet found that while lenders processed loans increased 10% in 2020 from 2019, there's roughly 58,000 more denials. As for self-employed, Pew Research found last year that there were about 16 million of those workers. There are more self-employed business owners since the onset of the pandemic, and their needs are not easily met by traditional loans. Sam Balak, an executive vice president of Sprout Mortgage. Sprout Mortgage is a lender run by Michael Strauss, the former chief of American Home Mortgage, one of the many subprime lenders that went bankrupt in the late 2000s. More regular borrowers are also finding that they can't fit standard mortgage box either, Balak said. So we're stepping straight back into this, and I personally, what I'm seeing from this is a cryptic message from Elon Musk saying that, 2005, 2006, when everyone was getting all of these mortgages, these lenders were going out there issuing these very, very aggressive subprime loans, and people thought that housing prices were only going to continue going up. And if we look around, what are we seeing? In the state of California, they're offering 17% down payments for free. Well, if you refinance your property, you have to pay it back. If you end up selling the property, you have to pay it back. But they're giving the 17% down payments. They're starting to offer all of these new products and programs to help people get into properties at a time when so many traditionally qualified investors and successful people are out there paying so much money for properties. They're building up this huge bubble, this massive, massive bubble in the housing market. And I personally believe we're stepping into a head. When Elon Musk said that in 2022, spring, summer, or no later than early 2023, we're going to see a recession, we're already in it. We're already stepping into it. People can feel it. If you own stocks right now, you know it. If you own crypto, you know it. We're stepping into definitely a different market. And what I think is likely going to happen is I believe Jerome Powell is going to continue increasing interest rates. And at that same time, it's going to get harder and harder and harder for people to qualify for these loans. And so people that are desperate for properties to get into a property, there's going to be less people willing to actually lend to them. And so they're going to go to these borrowers here. And we're going to start to see more people that are unqualified running out there purchasing property. Now, it's very different. This market is very different. This economy is different because it's not based on just traditional fundamentals. People are scared. They're fearful. Everything that's happened the last 2 years has built up massive anxiety in most people. And that anxiety has made people, feel like they're in a rush. Like it has to be done right now. The world's ending type of situation. And people are just rushing in to big, big decisions like purchasing a home. And we look at the housing market and the stock market. We look at all these different markets. To me, it just doesn't feel right in the sense that people aren't taking their time and making sure that they're making a smart decision. They just are running out there, which is going to be very unfortunate change in the housing market and the real estate market when rates start going up, because we're going to start to see these people get squeezed out that made these emotional decisions, that had to rush in to go buy this property in South Florida or go into one of these hot real estate markets, and they had to buy, knowing that 3 years before the house was selling for 50% less than what they just purchased it for. So all this stuff, all these emotional feelings that most people had when they ran out and made these big, big purchases, I think there may be big regret down the road, and especially when housing prices pull back as interest rates go up, we're going to start to see a big, big change in this economy. And the big question I have for you is, where do you see the housing market going? What do you think about Elon's tweet saying that people think that housing prices can only go up, and that he was blaming predatory lenders when now these same lenders are back in the game, and housing prices, people have the same exact belief that housing prices are only going to go up? Drop your comments below, hit the like button, subscribe here. Also subscribe to my second YouTube channel. It's going to be a podcast and a very interactive show. It's going to be really cool. People are going to be able to call in, talk about real estate, personal finance, loans, credit. It's going to be awesome. And then also Twitter, TikTok, LinkedIn, Instagram, everything's in the banner. Catch you guys later.